right. Welcome to our first special episode 1.5 of Anime Core. If you guys just listened to our weekly episode, welcome.
That was a marathon for you, so
just
shout out to the loyalists.
If you just discovered this, also welcome. The way we kind of want to do these is on Tuesdays, we plan to drop our main episodes. It's going to have your weekly news, your weekly episodes, and then like a segment of some sort. And then we will do on Thursdays probably special episodes like this where we just discuss something anime related.
Yeah. We did just launch this, so like if we do have tweaks down the way after feedback, don't hold us to the Tuesday, Thursday schedule.
Yeah, we will be changing probably quite a bit. But do you want to talk about what we're doing for this special episode? You know, if you already saw, if you saw the previous podcast, you know. So
also shout out to you for listening to the previous podcast, episode 1. All right, so we talked about Demon Slayer on episode 1 because that was both in our top 3 for anime, which is pretty cool. But when did we watch Demon Slayer?
When did we watch it?
Was it like November, December?
Yeah, it was like end of the year.
Yeah. So we watched it like end of 2024. And really liked it. It was obviously it's in our top anime rankings. But the characters were phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that, I think that's part of why it's in my ranking. And some of those characters, as you may know, are the Hashira. So they are like the top people at their form of, what is it? Bending? Breathing. Oh my gosh, fake fan. They're like the top form of their breathing. So you become a Hashira by being an apprentice to the previous Hashira.
Right.
So there's right now.
And there's no like, from what it seems, there's no like limit on. There can be one Hashira of each type.
Yes.
But there's no limit on total Hashira.
Right. Because there's a lot of different forms of breathing.
Right. Because Zenitsu's master was the Thunder.
Yep.
Hashira.
But then you have a Nosuke who's beast breathing.
Right. So but the Thunder Hashira is retired. So there's no Thunder Hashira now. Mm-hmm. So someone could become that. But there is none. So there's just going to be like no repeats for Hashira.
Yeah. So we are going to be ranking the Hashira as they stand.
1 through 9.
Is it 9?
Yeah, I've got 9 here on the list. So the ones that I left out there's the Flower Hashira.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she is the older sister of the insect Hashira.
Makes sense.
And I believe she like passes away before the show.
Oh, okay. Is this part of the manga? Which
I think so.
I will say, like, disclaimer to the listeners, we have not read the manga.
To avoid spoilers
for Infinity Castle. Yeah. But it's definitely one that we want to read, and we definitely, like, appreciate all the time and effort that's gone into the manga. Yeah. So we will circle back to that once
Infinity Castle's done.
Yeah.
So there is no Flower Hashira on here. There is no Thunder Hashira because we don't know much about him.
Don't know much about him.
He's seems cool, but the Water Hashira we have is Tomioka, not the old man that trains Tanjiro. And then we're actually going to remove the Sound Hashira because he's retired as well.
What? No, you're not.
Tengen's not a Hashira.
Okay, so are we going to remove Rengoku?
Fine, we'll keep Tengen. All right, so
I know you did that just to trigger me. That's so mean.
I wanted to see where your loyalties lie.
With Tengen.
Apparently.
Yes.
All right, so we have 9 Hashira. We're instead of like doing it, I think it'd be tier ranking would be easy because they're all S tier.
They're all S tier.
They're all amazing. We're gonna force ourselves to go 1 through 9, no ties. And we have to agree on the final list.
We have to agree? Okay.
Have to agree on the final list.
Okay. So
what's our criteria for this? Like, what are we looking at?
Oh, I was going to say.
Besides how attractive you find them.
I can say the same back to you.
Okay, so Love Hashira number 1.
Okay. It's a good thing we're still married. Okay, so I want to run through the Hashira types that we have on the list.
Yeah. Do you want me to say the names or do you want to?
I
You feel confident?
I don't feel
You want me
confident.
to say the names?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Water Hashira.
Gyu Tomioka.
Okay. The Love Hashira.
Mitsuri Kanroji.
Okay. The Serpent.
Obanai Iguro.
Wind.
Sanemi Shinazugawa.
Stone Hashira.
Gyome Himejima.
Mist Hashira.
Muchiro Tokito.
Insect.
Shinobu Kocho.
Flame.
Kyojuro Rengoku.
And
The Sound Hashira.
Tengen Uzui.
Okay. Before I say who my number 9 is, because I think we'll agree on him.
You think we'll agree on him?
Right away. What is our criteria for this?
Oh goodness. I think
if they've awakened their mark, they should be in the top, right?
that's fair.
Cool.
That's very fair.
So Tengen's not in the top 3.
You tricked me. No. Because he's already too good.
Mist, Love. Is it just those two?
I think so.
It might just be those two. I figured you would forget that you didn't.
No, that's so funny though.
No, I think between like their fights that we've seen them in.
But is that fair though? Because
We've
like
seen everyone in a fight.
I guess we have I think we have kind of seen everyone.
I think we've
in a
seen
fight.
everyone's technique. Because we haven't seen Shinobu really fight.
Yeah.
But we've seen her technique of poisons and stuff.
That's
So
fair.
it's enough of a, enough about her for it.
Okay.
I'd say like technique / fighting.
Yeah.
And then backstory, like the character.
That's fair. Are we also letting our personal feelings influence us?
We can throw some personal feelings in there.
Okay, great. Because
they
my
might
number
get-
1 is not changing. And spoilers, it's not Tengen.
Oh, interesting.
I thought you knew that about me.
I bet I could pick it. Number 9, though. Tell me if I'm wrong. We've got Sanemi Shinazugawa, the Wind Hashira.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that's fair, but his backstory is so good.
His backstory is so
Did you
good.
forget how good his backstory
His
is?
backstory's good. I just hate his personality. No, I think if we were to go off the criteria that we presented, I feel like the Insect Hashira is going to be number 9.
I think that's a fair choice.
I think her creative technique of like fighting with poisons because she can't cut the heads off is really cool. Her backstory with her sister is really sad. Like, I think it's a really good character.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's hard about the Hashira rankings is there's no bad characters.
Yeah. And there's no bad Hashira. Also,
No,
they're
there's
all
no
like
bad Hashira.
so good at what they do.
Do you feel comfortable throwing her at number 9?
I think so.
It's hard, but it's like
This is so.
she's the least special.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It's horrible.
Take it back. Okay, number 8.
Number 8.
I'm gonna go with Water.
Water? What? I was gonna think you were going Stone. Is it because the Stone's backstory is better?
It's a good
Oh,
backstory.
I forgot about his like freaking scythe thing that he uses too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think, like, when it comes to strategy and planning...
Hang on, did we
like-
change it already? Do we put Water at number 9?
Do we change it or do you change it?
We're doing this together. Do you?
Oh, really?
I feel like the insect's at least a little cooler than the Water.
No, because lest you forget his freaking, like, cloak.
Yeah, his story is sad.
His story's sad.
I thought you were going to say, lest you forget, he vouched for Nezuko.
That's also true. Yeah. He
Alright.
did not kill Nezuko upon their first meeting.
Well, he was also one of the ones who was like, if Nezuko harms a human, I will, like,
Yeah.
commit suicide. Like,
Yeah.
I will, like, so... He gets points for that, I'd say. All right, number 8 then. That's fair.
Number 7.
So number 7, the Mist Hashira, right? Let's say who's not in our top, on our bottom. Mist Hashira is safe.
Love is
Flame and
safe.
Sound, I think, would say are safe.
Yeah.
Love, I think, is safe.
Yeah.
So we're between Serpent, Wind, and Stone.
Have we got the serpent's backstory?
No, we don't
Okay.
really have his backstory, which is kind of hard.
At this point in the anime. At this point in the anime. We don't know about the manga. Again, disclaimer there.
His character design is cool.
Yeah. And I love, like, his relationship with love.
Yeah, but
That
is
is
that
cute.
like enough to drive him out of 7?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we'll go Obanai Iguro, Serpent Hashira, number 7.
Although his sword's sick.
His sword is really cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like he's got a cool design, but he's just lacking in terms of like character development so far.
That's fair.
I think what's fun about this is we can have this list, and then when everything's wrapped up after Countdown to Sunrise, we can come back and like see what changes for us.
And who's alive?
None. All right, number 6. Is it between Wind and Stone?
I think it's between Wind and Stone. I'm gonna go with Stone, which again might be a hot take for Wind. And the reason I like Wind still is because of his brother. And I think like it's just an interesting relationship. And I'm gonna go with Stone.
Did you forget the Stone's backstory?
I did not forget the Stone's backstory.
Where he was a pacifist and watched all of his students and then was framed for it.
I know.
I think the Stone is above Wind.
I don't know. I just, the Wind's backstory with like
With the mom and stuff.
with the mom is just so good.
I guess what's more sad though, the victim being the child or the victim being the guardian supposed to like protect the child. Because the Stonehasher was supposed to protect these kids and had to watch, not only like had to watch them all be taken out, he had to watch one of them betray. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
They were betrayed by one of their own.
But to advocate for the Wind, I think like I feel like the Stonehasher has made his peace, and I think that does show character growth. Like I think the Wind is just being so much more affected, and then you do see that stuff with his brother still.
Yeah.
So I think it's like for me, it's the relationship with his brother and how it's still like making him. Like, this whole experience is making him standoffish still.
Yeah.
But then, like, he can go in and fight with a serpent Hashira. And, like, they're kind of friends.
Yeah.
So I think,
I
interpersonal relationships, for me, is why I have the Wind ahead.
I need you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
Is this just because it's Gojo's voice
No,
actor?
it is
this just
not.
because it's the Wind Hashira?
It is not.
No.
Fully, it is not.
I think you make good points. I think this is one that's just going to come down to whatever your preference is.
Yeah.
Unbiased, do you still stand by? Like, if you're to remove all feelings, just look at the stories for what they are, the characters, and their abilities for what they are. Do you still feel confident in the Wind Hashira?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
We'll go Stone at number 6 then.
Okay.
And then Wind at 5.
I will say they could flip-flop. I can allow them to flip-flop if needed because
That's
I will
a
say
tough
that
one.
the Stone, like,
The
at
hardest
the
part
end,
of a ranking is the middle ones.
Right. But his like, him at the end, like, with his,
With
like,
the
ball and chain.
scythe thing against Muzan,
It is wild.
you can't, like, come on.
But I think it's the backstory and the interpersonal relationships.
You know, I think too, like, the beauty of the Stone finding redemption and leading his new children because his previous students were taken out.
Okay, we're done. Moving on.
All right, so we're looking at number 4 now.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. Love Hashira.
Love. Okay.
Love Hashira.
I'm so glad.
I'm
so glad.
Really like her character. Her sword is one of the coolest, and her fighting style is beautiful to watch. Her story, I don't want to take away from her backstory, but it's like it's not basic because I think it's very in line with what would be like, because this is kind of like that feudal Japan era, and her backstory is dealing with marriage as a woman in feudal Japan, and I think it seemed like it was very in line with what it would have been like and stuff. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when you look at
who we have left,
Mist, Flame, and Sound, I think her story is a little less lacking than, you know, the man who had a twin the man whose father hated him, and then the man with 3 wives.
Don't put it like that.
Oh, do you think that this story's not as important as this woman who wanted to be loved? Where's your feminism line, Megan?
Please, if Tengen showed
And
up.
Tengen with his big boobed wives. Plural.
Listen, there's a reason.
No, I do think I love the Love Hashira. I think she's a great character.
I think she's a good character.
But yeah, it's also one of those ones where it's like, is she made better because of her relationship with the serpent, Hashira?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't think so, because her character isn't defined by that relationship, where I feel like
which is huge for her because of her backstory.
Right. And I feel like the Wynn's character, like what we were just talking about, is defined by
Gyo something.
Gyotaro?
No,
that was
Gyotaro was the upper
that
rank.
was yeah. But I think he's defined by those.
Yeah.
But she's not, because she had that whole fight by herself.
Yeah, that's true.
And got
she was
her
ready
mark.
to die too, and yeah, she got her mark. And
Yeah. So she's in a league of her own. This is gonna be hard.
Top 3 Hashira. Right now, so if you guys haven't been paying attention, right now we are down to Mist Hashira, Tokito, the Flame Hashira, Rengoku, and the Sound Hashira,
Tengen.
You said that you don't have Sound as number 1.
I don't.
Okay, I'm guessing they're number 2 for you.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. The fight was really good.
So is Mist your number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? You really liked Rengoku.
Yeah, this is the hard. Okay, I'll give Mist number 1 because I do agree. I think the Mist Hashira's backstory, the character growth we saw when he was in that bubble and had to like get his way out.
But like, not only that, the character growth that we saw even before that, where he's fighting that.
Him and no, the Tanjiro. When him and Tanjiro first meet, and he's very standoffish.
He's very standoffish.
Versus when him and Tanjiro meet during the training arc. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. He's definitely had like one of the best growths out of these Hashira.
Yeah.
His backstory is just
like
so good.
I'd cry.
Yeah, so I do, and his forms are beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So I do think Tokito for number 1 for the Mist Hashira.
I love the Mist Hashira.
I think there's going to be an argument between Rengoku and Uzui.
Because you like Rengoku a lot.
Both of their arcs were very similar, though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that what I'm putting on the table, without spoiling too much of the anime, what I'm going to put forth on the table is Rengoku's influence for the 3 main characters.
I was thinking that, and that's why I was like, that this is going to be hard for me, because I know my personal bias is like Tengen at number 2.
Right.
But if I'm being honest, yeah.
I think that that's what gives Rengoku the edge over Tengen.
I think so.
Is the impact he has on the 3 main characters.
Okay, but what I'm going to put on the table, you ready for this?
The 3 wives.
No.
Oh.
No. I'd like to put on the table Zenitsu's makeup.
We didn't get the figure out. We have the figure of it. No.
Without Tengen, we never would have gotten that.
Let
we
me
never would have seen Inosuke as an attractive girl.
Let me counter that with muscle mice. What about the muscle mice? Everything about Tengen is entertaining and is wonderful, and I love Tengen Uzui. But I think if we're going unbiased,
if we're doing unbiased, yes,
Rengoku's got to be number 2.
I think so.
Because this was like a moment in the anime where it goes from season 1 to like a full-on war.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, a turning point for sure.
Huge turning point. Because in season 1, it's like case by case, killing demons, save my sister, like all this stuff. And it was
Training
great. Training,
a little
and it was
bit.
really good. And then we have the Mugen Train arc. And that's the moment where us as the audience and them as the three newbies are like, shoot.
Yeah.
We are at war.
Yeah.
And I think that has to give him credit as one of the top Hashira. If this
I think so too.
And there could be an argument made between who's better combat and skill wise. I feel like Rengoku might still have it a little bit on Tengen.
It's hard to compare because Rengoku did go up against Upper 3.
Yeah, and he held his own for a good minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that throwing Rengoku at 10 is the best way to do it. And then Tengen at 3. I think I said Rengoku is 10.
Yeah.
That's Rengoku at the very bottom.
But we only have 9.
That's how bad he is.
No, I agree with that. And that's why I was like, internally, I was like, I love Tengen. Mm-hmm. I really, really do. But I think if we're being unbiased and honest with ourselves.
Unbiased or biased, who's your favorite 3?
I think Mist. Still, I just really adore the Mist. Hashira. He's just a cutie at the end of the day.
Who's your top 3 though? Mist, Sound.
Mist, Sound, and probably Love.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd probably mine, yeah.
Or Tanjiro, because he's just in a league of his own. I don't really know what he does.
The son Hashira, yeah.
No, because he didn't train under him.
I don't think you have to. I don't know. I don't know the rules,
did.
man. There's no rules. I told you.
No,
that's my biggest issue is there's no rules. No, I feel good about this list. I think this is the best way to break them down of where we're at so far with the anime.
Yeah.
But we are at a point where Infinity Castle is opened up. Everyone has fallen in. Mm-hmm. We have no idea what comes next, especially us, not reading the manga. I want to guarantee right now, if we get Serpent's backstory, he's dying.
I would cry.
And Love has to watch it happen.
Stop. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't... It's... Anything can happen for Infinity Castle.
Anything can happen. I definitely think the Water Hashira is dead.
It feels like it.
I don't think that man's surviving. If anything happens to the Miss Hashira, I don't know how I'll recover. He just deserves a good life, you know?
So we've got 9 Hashira. Do we think 4 of them, about half, do we think 4 of them survive?
Are we counting Tengen, I guess?
Did Tengen go in?
We never saw him fall in.
So
He's technically like Tengen. Not a Hashira.
We'll go 8 Hashira, 4 of them surviving. Half of them, do you think it's possible?
Ooh. Okay, well, let's go with...
I'm stupid. There's 7 Hashira.
What? What do you mean there's... Oh.
I always forget. 7 Hashira.
7 Hashira.
We are whittling this number down.
We are doing so good.
7 Hashira, do 3 of them survive?
Do 3 of them survive? Okay. So, out of any of them to survive, I do think it would be Mist, since we did already get his backstory. Same with Love. I don't know about Insect. You think Insect? Okay. Yeah. I could definitely see the Water Hashira dying. I feel like the Stone Hashira will, because we did get his backstory, and I feel like he's got, like, it's that age point.
Yeah.
We've talked about, we think something's going to happen with the Wind Hashira because his brother also fell in, so we think there's going to be, like, something with them. Yeah. It will be heartbreaking, I think.
Yeah. I don't even want to say I'm excited, because I don't think...
I don't know. I know.
I'm feeling.
I'm like, dang, that's such cool visuals. But also...
At least my eyes will be happy.
But also...
Yeah, so that's our Hashira rankings. Mm-hmm. Like I said, purely trying to be unbiased, but let us know if you guys had any issues with it. We'll tell you how wrong you are.
Miss Hashira at number 1 might be a hot take.
But it might be a hot take.
But
unbiased though, you gotta do it.
I just biased. I'm entirely biased in that ranking, but I will say his backstory is phenomenal. Yeah. His character growth, like you said, all those things.
So, if you guys like the content, make sure to like, follow, subscribe.
And let us know what else we should rank.
Yeah, let us know what we should rank next. Be on the lookout.
Assuming we've watched it.
True. No, we'll grind it.
Oh,
we can watch it.
We can do that too. That's on the table.
Keep an eye out for next week's episode dropping on Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see you guys then.